Welcome back. And now on world news. This year's World Food Day marks the 71st anniversary of the founding of Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, where the theme in the globe is Climate is Changing, Food and Agriculture Must Too. World Food Day will be observed on Friday, 14th October at the FAO headquarters in Rome, which falls on Sunday, 16th October, and in Rwanda on Thursday, 20th October. The Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, Jose Graziano da Silva, on the event of the World Food Day 2016, is devoted to analyzing how food and agriculture should evolve in order to face the impact of climate change. Erratic weather patterns and the increase of pest and disease outbreaks are affecting agricultural productivity and therefore on determining global food security. The poorest and most hungry people suffer the most, as 80% of them live in rural areas and nearly 800 million people remain food insecure nowadays, while almost 160 million children under the age of 5 are stunted. It is believed that the agricultural sectors can play a transformative role in addressing the impacts of climate change, as it is already on determining their efforts to end hunger and all other forms of malnutrition by 2030. World Food Day 2016 is an opportunity to identify how best to respond to these challenges. European Council President Donald Tusk said Britain's only real alternative to a hard Brexit is no Brexit. Tusk said in Brussels that EU would not compromise on its insistence that freedom of movement will be a condition for Britain's access to the single market. Mr. Tusk, in his statement, mocked a Brexit campaign promise that Britons could have the EU cake and eat it too. The idea that the UK might manage to keep trade benefits of EU membership while barring European immigrants and rejecting EU courts' authority. Mr. Tusk will chair meetings of EU leaders negotiating Britain's exit from the 28-member bloc after their 52% to 48% vote in June's referendum. Britain decided to leave the EU. Prime Minister Theresa May said last week that the government would trigger Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, beginning formal negotiations between the UK and EU by the end of March next year. The process will take up to 2 years, involving complex debates about issues such as immigration and access to the European single market. However, Mr. Tusk again stressed that the choice would be the UK's alone to make whether Brexit is really in their interest.